Season 2 on Betrayal, called A Father's Secret, is insane. And I have to applaud this woman who found this information on her husband's computer and did not hesitate to reach out to police same day. So let's get into it. So that's Jason, and that's his wife at the time, Ashley. Now, when Ashley married Jason, she already had 2 kids from a previous relationship, which you see here. And then when they married, they had a little girl that you can't see in the picture. Now, when all of this transpired, it was 2021. They had already been together for 11 years. She was 15. So imagine that had been her dad since she was 4 years old. Same for that boy. They viewed him as their father, regardless that he was their stepdad. He was the football league coach. She was very involved in gymnastics, so the mom was involved everywhere. In all, in everyone's eyes, the perfect family. However, in 2021, he was working for an electrician, and that electrician was a small business, and the gentleman decided to retire and told him, look, I will give you my business. And of course, they were ecstatic. It's a huge opportunity. Clients were already established. One day he calls the wife and says, hey, we have a new client and he wants to pay via Venmo. Can you go to the computer real quick and create a Venmo account for me? She's like, yeah, that's fine. However, she kind of continued to do other things, and he calls back and he's like, you know what? Forget it. No need to create it on the computer. We'll do it when I get home, as if he was frantic. So she decided, like, he's hiding something from me. Let me go check out what's on this computer. She goes into the computer and she sees he has an iCloud folder, and she decides to start going through the pictures. Needless to say, there were inappropriate pictures of young girls, okay? She immediately closes it and is just so disgusted that she goes to take a shower. And while she's in the shower, she says that she's just praying and asking God, what do I do? This is my husband. How is this happening to me? When she comes out, she decides to call her sister. And in my opinion, that is a huge factor in why this woman did not play around. She calls the sister and she tells the sister, I need to show you something. At that point, sister looked at everything and she was in shock. These were young girls, little girls with faces of adult women. Hundreds and hundreds of pictures. She starts freaking out, and she even notices that there's like a video of her other daughter, the one that's 15, but she's like, it looks like it was like he didn't mean to record it or whatever, like a butt recording. So again, she doesn't know what the hell to do, so she decides to call her stepmother to go find her stepmother, which she works at a prison. So she arrives to the prison, and the stepmother's coming out, and she tells the stepmother everything, and the stepmother is like in utter shock, okay? Utter shock. And at this point, she decides she's going to call her husband's brother. Now, mind you, while all this is happening, he's texting her, I'm sorry. Like, he knows something is up. Maybe he received a notification that she was in his iCloud. I don't know. But he is literally freaking out. So she goes to meet with his brother and to tell, this is all happening the same day, to tell his brother what's going on. He's in law enforcement. His brother looks at the pictures. He's like, okay, these girls look like they just turned 18. Let's not overreact. Let's calm down. You need to have a conversation with him. And she said that she just felt like so gaslighted by the brother. She did not expect for the brother to kind of make excuses. She expected him to say, this is what we're going to do. At that point, he leaves and she can't breathe. So she calls her sister and says, I'm going to the hospital. I need to be taken to the hospital. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. She goes to the hospital and a police officer comes in and he said, was there like a domestic situation? And she said, no domestic situation, but I do. The sister goes, we need to report a crime. I'm telling you, this all happened the same day she found it. How many people out there be finding stuff like this and don't say a word? This woman was absolutely horrified. So at that point, the detective, talks to her, takes, her information and says, look, I'm going to go ahead and have someone that works in these type of crimes reach out to you. She ends up meeting that person the same day, I believe. Still is the same day. She ends up in the police department. I guess she had been released. She was fine. She was having a panic attack. And they interview her and he tells her, I looked at what you sent me. He said, did you? She was like, well, yeah. He goes, did you see any videos or pictures of your daughter? And she's like, well, I mean, yeah, but what do you, they were like accidental recordings. He said there were over 1,000 images of her daughter, in addition to all the other images. He would have her come to the living room and bend down where he could see inside of her shirt, like, pick this up. They even state that at one time he was obsessed, saying that he was outside every night viewing the stars because he was obsessed with a new app that he had, when in fact he was outside in the dark recording the daughter changing and in the room. Lot of videos of the daughter. So at this point, he's like, you know what? You know, we can go ahead. I just need to make sure you understand what this means. She goes, I don't care. Like, how can I help? Again, this woman did not play around. He said, okay, call him, because he kept calling her and was like, I'm at, my brother's house. Please, I just want to talk to you. I'm so sorry. So finally she answered him and she goes, meet me at Walmart in a public place because I need to talk to you. She said that she was also scared of him even knowing that she had seen all of that, for fear that he would unalive her. They go to the Walmart. She said she was so angry that she just started kind of yelling at him, and he was just crying, apologizing, and sure enough, the police came, arrested him, and he immediately asked for a lawyer. At this point, she said that she didn't think that her kids were going to find out. She just thought, hey, I'm going to tell them that he is in rehab and that, he'll be back in the future, but that right now we can't visit him in rehab. This is getting a little long. I'm going to go to a part 2.